Toki Onjoji is the ace of Senriyama Girls' High School, the second-ranked school in the country. Her power is that of foresight. She is a sickly and quiet girl. When she was on the brink of death in her second year of high school due to her illness, she gained a cool and aloof aura. However, she is still the same serious, bright, and lovely girl at heart. Her partner in the club is Ryuka Shimizudani, her friend since 5th grade. I can retake
it's fucked
that.
Up that both of us laughed when it said she was on the brink of death due to her illness. Don't retake it, though.
I've read this description multiple times and I forgot that it says on the brink of death.
Due to her illness.
And
because of it, she gained a cool and aloof aura.
And nothing else. I also, this is the text where it just calls Ryuka her partner in the club, and it's like that doesn't mean anything in the Mahjong club.
You don't have
like
in the club.
Like in some sports.
Her partner, who is in the club.
Her partner, yeah,
they're her girlfriend.
They're at the club. The Mahjong club.
I also like that it's a cool and aloof aura. However, she is still serious.
I get what they mean in that, like, cool and aloof. Toki doesn't care,
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of whatever, but she still cares, I think is what it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like
and
it.
Yet,
I find it this is my professional rewriter voice coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get why it's awkward and why you might edit that. But I like serious not always being associated with stern. I think that's a compelling character description, to be like she's more serious when she's like brighter and happier and excited and invested in things.
Mm-hmm. However, you have to think about the line for more than 2 seconds in order to realize that, so I think it needs to be rewritten.
Hello and welcome
to Soulmates.
Fuck you. Hello.
I thought we weren't gonna fight anymore.
Oh, that's fair. I'm sorry. You can't be mad. You can't be mad to your partner in the podcast. Hello and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys and all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find me on our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine, an Utna Rewatch podcast, which I need to update the link for because we're now hosted in a different place, but I believe you can still find us on your podcast app of choice, and we just did the Arc 2 episode that has all the Yuri jury. That's an important one.
Yay!
And shout out to Yuri jury.
The jury Yuri or the Yuri jury?
Oh, I meant to say jury Yuri, and then
The Yuri jury is a different thing.
Yeah. Anyway, you can also find this podcast on YouTube, where you can subscribe to us and chat with us and your fellow fans in the comments, or you can find us on your podcast app of choice and leave us a little review just to help us out. Joining me as always, from across the Mahjong table, it's Ash.
Hi. It's me, Ash. You can find me in the house, like carpet.
I knew it!
I was thinking about whether I should just sing the whole thing, but that's a bad idea. Hey, I feel like a lot of people know about House Like Carpet because of Toby Fox lately, but people don't know that that's from a Persona 3 spin-off anime, and the song is called Burnin' Men's Soul, and first of all, there's a whole thing, and it's not good, and then it's followed up by the sickest sax solo you've ever heard. So if you haven't listened to Burning Men's Soul from, I don't even know what the name of the thing is, Persona 3 something. Then,
that's where you can find Ash.
That's where you can find me. Also on Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/AsherLurk. I run the show's Tumblr. It's soul-mates-podcast.tumblr.com. You can support the show at Ivy Fox Art on Ko-Fi, all one word. And if there's too many heads on my blunt, I won't spark it. I'll put it in my pocket and save it like rocket fuel.
Our music is by Sueños Electrónicos. That's what his mama named him, but I call him Sueños Electrónicos Lover, who you can find on Bandcamp. And our art is by Rygarden, who you can find on Instagram. I said it correctly this time.
Rygarden built a house on a hill.
On a hill, yeah. This season, I almost said year, incorrect. We'll be at this forever.
This year and the previous.
This year and the previous, and
but
next.
Only episodes that say season 1.
This season, we are talking about the characters from Mahjong Soul by Yo-Star and Cat Food Studios. A blend of cute, appealing anime girls with classical Japanese Mahjong. In their words, not mine. I felt like, all things considered, that was a relatively clean intro.
Yeah, we're serious. We're real.
We're serious. Oh, listen. We're bright,
serious?
We're bright and lovely, but we're serious. You understand.
We gained a cool and aloof aura after our first year of the podcast. When we were on the brink of death due to our surgery.
We're just like her.
We're just like her. Hey, it's Toki.
It's Toki. You know.
From Toki?
From Toki, the manga. The manga Toki.
From area Saki, the National Senryama Girls High School. That Toki? Whose voice actor also did a character from Blue Archive, but I'm not sure that's true, because I think this character from Blue Archive appears on, like, multiple people's pages.
Huh. Yep, it's Toki. If you... Oh, man, hang on. I'm actually gonna look this voice actress up. Is this the... She's probably...
No, it is true. Never mind.
Is she... I was like, did she actually voice Toki in the anime?
She's Yui Agura. She did voice Toki, I think.
Oh my god.
AguraYui.jp is not real. Okay. AguraYuiOfficial.com.
Anyway, it's fine.
She's an idol. Anyway,
it's fine. It's Toki, you know, from that bonus episode we did last week. You should go listen to that. I thought that was a really good bonus episode.
It was a good bonus episode.
Also,
the most coherent bonus episode we've ever done.
Which is kind of insane. I think it's also a bonus episode on maybe the most normal thing we've ever done. As much as Saki
which is part
normal,
of a well-known anime.
Yeah. It was a good time. Are you excited about Toki? How are you feeling about Toki?
I am excited about Toki. That being said, I've been looking at Toki. I don't know how excited I am. Well, I'm excited about the episode, obviously, because I love doing the podcast, even when the things we talk about are not good. I don't know how I feel about these. But we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. I don't really have... Hang on, let me take a quick look at our voice lines. I didn't do this. Is there anything weird? How
much does she talk
I'm
about
not
her
in the
illness?
best of health, so sometimes it would suddenly collapse on the street. 1 2
Oh, she talks about her girlfriend a lot.
I am in dire need of Ryuka's lap. I'm craving Ryuka's curry. God damn. She just loves her girlfriend.
She talks about Ryuka's lap again. I think that's 3 times. 3 times Ryuka's lap. So far. More about the lap than... 4 Funakyu is there.
Uh-huh. Shout out to Funakyu. I like how in her full Bond message, she doesn't talk about you at all. She just talks about Ryuka.
Yeah. She also talks about assembling blocks alone when she was a kid, which, like, I mean, me too, Toki, but...
Uh-huh. Anyway, shout out to Toki. Let's just get right into it. It's Toki's default look.
It's Toki on Joji's default look.
Toki on Joji's default look. Right off the bat, I think as far as, like, crossover characters, it's just them in their school uniform.
This is good.
This is good. It has a lot of character. This weird hand sign thing that she does.
ASL 6.
I believe is a thing that she does more in the manga.
Possible.
Like specifically her manga. I know that it's a thing that is associated with Toki, which is why she's always doing these threes and these rock horns.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember it from the anime. I think it's a thing from her manga. I haven't read her manga. It's one of the pieces of Saki I haven't touched yet.
Yeah,
she
I'm seeing...
She is, of course, holding up her 3 on account of being able to see 3 turns into the future. Albeit at the cost of her own life.
I looked up Toki on Joji images on DuckDuckGo, and, like, I do see a promotional image of her doing these 6s, but, like, very high up on the list of Toki images are all of her Mahjong Soul emotes.
Uh-huh.
It's very funny to me.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of fan art.
Uh-huh. She's super popular, which is fair. Again, like, oh my god, here's a piece of fan art of her and her girlfriend and her butch girlfriend.
But where's Funakyu?
Where's Funakyu? The Toki arc really hit. She's super popular as far as I'm aware amongst Saki fans. Anyway, back to the art. I'm fond of this piece of art. I think that, like, it has nice action lines. I love this flare of her skirt. I love her stupid cool pose.
She's Kaguya-hime Bond-up posing.
A little bit, yeah.
No, not a little bit, like all the way.
Wait, hang on. Let me remind myself. Oh yeah, she is. She's got the wide stance with the knees turned in.
She's stanced up.
She's stanced up. But, like, you know, it's not like a hugely thing, but she's got her, like I do like, again, I like the contrast between her little hand signs and her, like, her cool and aloof aura of a face. I think it looks nice. I think it gets Toki across, like, quite well.
It does. I think you know, I don't know whether or not this is a complaint. I guess it isn't. I just find it interesting that, like, if you only knew about Toki from Mahjong Soul, which would be wild, but, like, if this is you, and you haven't listened to our bonus episode, and you're like, oh, Toki, they keep talking about, you know, mostly she talks about her girlfriend's lap, but occasionally she talks about being chronically ill. It's like, you know, it's not a complaint necessarily that none of her images portray this, that she's chronically ill, but it is interesting to me. Prioritized more over the fact that she almost was on the brink of death due to her illness and can now see the future is the fact that she's a dork.
I mean, I don't think that's a complaint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it is a complaint.
She has, I like this. There's, like, Mahjong Soul in general is weird about disability.
Yeah, you know this.
This is indisputable.
Hello, everyone. We haven't done an episode on fucking what's her face, Reina yet.
But, yeah, like, we haven't even done an episode on Eve Christ. But I like the choice to just let her mostly be Toki. I think is strong. It's like the fact that, like, if you know this character from the anime or the manga, you know it from, if you know her from anime and manga, there we go. Then like there's some little things that like tick you off, like how her eyes are slightly lidded and her like head is sort of nodding off, and she doesn't look like unstable, aside from the fact that she just has this weird stance. But as far as people who have this weird toes pointing in stance goes, she's pretty stable. But like if you know Toki, she looks like Toki, i.e. she looks like she's about to fall over at all times. Like it gets that across without making that the whole fucking image. If you don't know anything about Toki, you just look at this and you're like, oh, she's a dork.
She's a cool girl.
She's a cool girl who loves the number 3 / the number 6. And like, I'm very for that. I think that that's good. They could have done, you know, her bond. I mean, we'll get there when we get there. I have complicated feelings about her bond up. But her bond up could have been like her in a hospital bed.
Yeah, it really could have.
One of her most iconic looks, IMO. But no, she just gets to hang out. I think
it's just interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I mean, to some extent, I think even the reasons why Reina, and to a lesser extent Eve, are fucked up, I think Reina in particular, it is not necessarily a problem with her main art, it's a problem with her whole concept. I think Reina's main art, again, this is not an episode about her, but just talking about disabled people, I think Reina's main art does a good job of giving her a thing beyond her being disabled, in that she's in her little, where is she? I was figuring what her face looks like, so it's impossible to find her on this. There we go. But she's in her little cafe like thing, and she, you know, she has a bit more of a thing than just being disabled, and they do that with Toki here, and I appreciate that. You know, the anime is not very good at depicting disabled people, which it does a number of times in various ways. Has a lot of Saki is an anime with a lot of complex depictions of PTSD that I have complex feelings about.
Fascinating. Not the time, I guess. When we talk about one of the many other Saki characters, I guess we'll get into it.
Ash, did I tell you that the other day I sat down and I figured out what every single bonus episode what thing we're gonna watch for every single bonus episode for every single Saki character?
That's awesome. I'm looking at all the Saki characters in the list right now, and it's fucked up that the first 4 of them are drawn by a different artist than the other 4.
Yeah, the first 4, we'll talk about it when we get there. But like, I have plans. I do think that Saki is sort of important. While we're here on our first Saki episode, which is insane because there's 8 of them. While we're here on our first Saki episode, I do think that Saki is sort of important to Mahjong Soul, which is why I do think that we need to do a bonus episode every time we get to one of them. Which is, you know, but which is not the case for, like, you know, other crossover characters, etc. But like, I think that without Saki, Mahjong Soul would not exist. Saki is like truly like the Mahjong Soul, you know what I mean? Like, this cannot be denied. And so I think it's important to see the origin of sexualizing teenage girls who play Mahjong.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it from that angle. I was like, oh yeah, Saki. It's cute Mahjong.
That's even, I mean, that's a very harsh way of putting it. It's almost an out of character way of putting it for me. Not that it's not true, but it's like, you know,
kind of
this
true.
Weird thing about like girls Mahjong, and how do we feel about girls, and how do we feel about Mahjong? And Saki and Mahjong Soul are kind of both about this, and both of them sometimes do it really bad, and both of it sometimes do it really good. And they're not like the same thing or anything. They have very different approaches. But like, I think they're intrinsically linked. I don't think you can understand Mahjong Soul without understanding this anime that came out 10 years before it. Anyway, back to this image. Sorry, we keep getting sidetracked just talking about Toki. I mean, there's not that much to talk about here. I do think this image is shaded nicely.
I was going to say the shading is really excellent.
Yeah, the shading on the skirt in particular, it's like, you know, it's got this nice yellow light coming on it that makes her feel like she's in the sun. The shading, these like shades of like blue and turquoise on her skirt look really nice. She looks really, really nice. It is fucked up that the first four Saki characters look bad.
This is why it's
and
like,
then they make them
really
good.
Bad.
It's
the first four, I mean, we'll get to it, but the first four Saki characters are like...
Oh, but also the first four Saki characters, when the second collab came out, got an extra skin, and their extra skin looks good, but their base
fucked.
image...
I didn't know that.
And Bond
Oh my god,
look
you're
bad.
right. That's fucked.
It's
the
fucked.
original four characters have this, like, extremely chubby-cheeked, huge-eyed proportion that's, like, they're so weird.
There's
anyway.
a reason behind this, but we'll get there when we get there. We can't... I don't know. I like this Sariyama uniform. I like this little triangle cut out the bottom. I like her little cape. Her little cape and how it's, like, minorly jutting out adds to her sort of coolness. It emphasizes the way that she's, like... Yeah, it emphasizes the way that she's, like, leaning back, because the cape is dangling out to emphasize her back. I don't know. You know, it's a pretty good image of Toki.
Sleeves.
She does have two sleeves. I don't know why.
For her.
She took the sleeves from the sleeveless girl.
Wait. You're right. She took the sleeves from the second butch.
Sorry. That's Toki's
Anyway.
now. She needs them for her illness.
Hey, why are the emotes out of order? Okay.
They are
they?
No, they're not.
I mean, yes, they are. They're out of order. You click on the first one, and that's on Joji Toki 1, which is the second emote.
Oh, yeah. On Joji Toki 0 is at the end. Strange.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Well, on Joji Toki 0 is actually 7th in this list. I think they're out of order. Anyway,
Oh, I think there are...
that's fucked.
How
hey,
does this
Mahjong Soul,
website... How does
this
this website do randomized orders of things? I genuinely don't understand it. Like, what in their code is putting things in a random order? That makes no sense. Things
Well,
being
on
in the
Joji Toki 0, the first emote is the one where she's in front of an orange square and she's doing her sixes. People are going to be freaked out by the fact that I keep saying 6. I'm sorry, I'm right.
Ash is studying ASL.
That's 6.
That's 6.
That's what 6 is. If it was the other way around and, like, the palms were not facing out, I could maybe understand, but that's 6. Anyway, this is just it's the first emote because it's the one where she's doing the thing in her, it's just her doing her thing, which is fucked up because I feel like usually the normal school uniform girls don't have this. Like, sometimes they do, but usually this is reserved for characters with much more complicated shit going on. And so the fact that Toki just has a pose that's like, this is what I'm doing in my main art is like, yeah, girl. I mean, you sure are. That being said, I do really like this emote.
Yeah, it has a little bit more going on. This little 3 triangle surprise marker in the top left.
And she looks a little bit more like pleased and engaged.
Yeah, it's like, something's either you've you know those kids where you're like, you get their attention, you're like, hey, and then they turn around and give you a little peace sign. That's what this sort of indicates to me, is like either something's caught her attention or like you've called her and she's just done her stupid little hand signs sort of like instinctively, and that's cute, IMO.
This is her. This is the emote that you use to say hi, and it's also the emote you use to say "I did it, I won."
Yeah. This has some like Yui Yagi. I can't remember the exact emote, but it's got Yui Yagi energy, and it's sort of like, you know, I'm doing a. Oh yeah, it's basically just her version of the Yui Yagi peace sign, just like I was saying. She's like, I did it. But I don't know what to do because I'm an awkward, weird little teenager. So I'm just going to do this stupid thing with my hands. It's cute.
It's also symmetrical in a very pleasing way.
Yeah.
I find it, like, I have very mixed feelings when they do these front-forward shots, like, face-on. But, you know, this one is quite nice, I feel. Everything is proportional. Everything is clean. Sometimes emotes,
it looks
they're
nice.
just messy. And this one, it isn't.
Yeah, for some reason the lines around her hands kind of fall apart. I don't know why.
That's just because they have to put the little white outline around it, and it gets fucked.
Yeah. But
also, don't look at her hands for too long. You'll get scared.
They're a little scary. I think they're some of the least scary hands we've seen in an emote.
The fingers that are up, not scary. The length of the palm, scary.
The thumb, also a little scary.
Also a little scary.
But I guess it is, like, curled in, so you're seeing it from a weird angle. It's not that scary, I guess.
The palm is scary.
The palm is scary. That's okay. I like this one. It's very simple, but I like it.
Toki on Joji won the second emote.
Yeah. In this emote, she's on her iPad. She's furiously on her iPad.
Does she
There's, like,
do this?
vibration lines.
Is this a sick Toki reference?
This has to be a Toki reference. I feel like there's a part in the anime, like a part where they're just sort of hanging out, where she's on her iPad like this, but I don't remember. It isn't in the bit we watched, and I don't remember it exactly. But like,
she's just on her iPad?
Yeah, she's just on her iPad.
She just loves iPad.
She just loves iPad.
On Joji Toki iPad.
On Joji Toki iPad.
I feel like her eyes are kind of scary in this one.
Why so?
They're far apart, and also the whites of them. She's like cross-eyed in this. So you can see the whites of her eyes on the inside both times, but not so much on the outside.
Oh yeah. Weird.
And so she's got far apart cross-eyed eyes.
Wait, do you mean do you mean cross-eyed or wall-eyed?
Wall-eyed. I didn't know the word. But it's scary.
Yeah, the wall-eyed is weird because she should be cross-eyed because she's focusing on something on the iPad, hypothetically. But it does kind of make her look like she's just staring into the abyss. Which
the iPad is repelling her.
She's doing EXP grinds. She's just not paying attention.
She can't stand to skip it because it's bad for economy, but like... It sucks so much to do.
She's doing the thing that I do with Harry, which is that when Harry needs to be distracted, I take out my phone and I set my Arknights to grind a level on auto deploy, and then I put it in front of her and she half pays attention to it, and this like keeps her stimulated.
Yeah. On Joji Toki iPad baby emote.
On Joji Toki iPad baby. I mean, you know, she's 16, right? No, hang on.
She's a third year in high school.
She's
17 probably.
Okay. I thought she was a second year. My bad.
I looked at her age on the wiki and they only say third year, but I looked at it. Not on the wiki, on this website. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On this wiki.
This wiki.
Yeah, this emote is fine. It conveys a clear thing. I could find a use case for this emote, which is just I'm bored and on my iPad.
I'm in riichi.
It doesn't... it doesn't do that much beyond that, but it looks reasonably nice. It's fine.
Anjoji Toki 2. In this one, by the way, if you're clicking into these emotes and going to the webpage for them, you can both, to get them in order, you can both click on the links on the top of the page that bring you to the last one and the next one, or you can just look at Toki Anjoji emotes on the bottom of the page, and they're all in order there, which is fucked up.
Oh, also, you can follow along in the link in the episode description. I promised myself I would start saying that every time, and then I forgot to say it, but I'm saying it now.
In this one, she's mad. She's got mad squiggles. Her mouth is a triangle pointing up, and she's got angry eyebrows, and she doesn't have whites in her eyes. She's looking over to the side, and she's mad, and she's in front of a brown circle, and she's mad. She's going grrr.
I can't deal with the triangle mouth in this one. It's like
I like it.
I like it. It's just such a perfect geometric triangle.
It is.
That it's like
I'm pressing
distracting.
it so that I can get the elevator to come.
Going up.
Going up.
That this facial
and she
expression.
Gets mad at me.
This facial
and she has to keep doing the face.
This facial expression is extremely compelling. It's really weird. I like the little bit of blush under her eyes. I like that they make her cheeks a little chubbier in this one. So she looks really childish. She looks like a baby bird. That's her beak. She's like an angry baby bird who needs her food.
Yeah. She's a little bit more sloppily drawn in this one, generally speaking, but I don't mind.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cute. I like how squiggly and markery these squiggles are.
This is the emote where she goes grr.
It's the emote where she goes tweet. Again, this isn't necessarily like a direct reference to any Toki face, but her just being like, it's also, I think the thing why it works on like a character level, I mean, it's just a fun little emote, but it's like, it's such a small anger. It's like a really contained anger. It's a cool and aloof anger. Like
the only thing that's changed from her normal expression is her eyebrows and her mouth. If you turned those eyebrows and like tilted them and then like made the mouth go away, it would just look like a normal Toki.
Okay. Wait, hang on. Can I hit you with a crack theory?
Okay.
So we all know that fucking Chiori in this game, or is it Chihori? It is Chiori.
It's Chihori.
Is just Koromo, right?
Yes.
What if Yui Yagi is Toki? Because I keep looking at these and I'm like, they're Yui Yagi emotes. But I'm like, are the Yui Yagi emotes just Toki emotes?
I'm compelled.
Is Yui Yagi just straight Toki?
It's Chiori, sorry. Not Chihori, it's Chiori.
No, Chihori is the one that I like.
Chiori is just Koromo.
Yeah. But is Yui
I went and
Yagi
checked because it was bothering me. I think Yui Yagi is straight Toki. I support your theory here.
Anyway, This one's good. Fucked a little bit.
It's Onjyoji Toki 3, the fourth emote.
She's doing the thing that you got mad at the beginning of the episode, but then stopped noticing as we started.
Listen, I didn't stop noticing it. I just figured it didn't need to be commented on every time. Do we get any sort of explanation or context for the fact that she does this at any point?
So let me pitch you on this. Okay, so what she's doing is she's doing her like... this one's on like a fun angle, so she looks really tall. She's like slamming down a riichi stick vertically with one finger.
She has diagonalitis.
She does have diagonalitis.
And it's terminal, and she was on the brink of death from it in her second year.
Terminal diagonalitis. So no one else does this in the show?
Uh-huh.
This is a Toki special, is doing this stupid riichi thing.
It is much like her cool sixes in that it's like, this is my cool thing that I do. And
yeah,
it's dumb.
She's a dork. She's a 17-year-old dork.
Yui and KR976 are Toki, by the way.
Yeah.
I was going to mention KR976 earlier, but I forgot.
I really like that Toki does this because it's just like she's so like reserved and like, you know, she has her whole internal thing going on, but she's so reserved otherwise, and this little bit of expression of like, yeah, I'm cool actually, look at my cool riichi declaration, I really like. I think it's charming. It's stupid, but it's charming.
But like, why?
I don't know.
Does she... It's fine that she does this. It's so I appreciate that it's stupid and charming. She's KR976. But like, does she just do this? And we never acknowledge that it's happening? That's fucked. If someone started doing this in front of me, I would stop the high school level girls Mahjong match and look at them weird. I would knock it over with my finger.
You wouldn't do that. Etiquette would prevent you.
I would be kicked out of the Mahjong tournament, perhaps. But, like, I would do it if I was just at a regular table with her.
See, I just, like... I get what you're saying, but, like... I just don't... This is maybe a little harsh on you, but I just don't think that every little, like, funny little physical quirk that a character has needs to have a traumatic backstory.
Listen, it doesn't need an explanation. Someone just needs to look at it and say, hey, what? Or at least somebody on her team needs to go, ah, yes, Toki's classic erect riichi. That's not me pulling some shit out of my ass. That's what she says in her voice lines.
Wait, what?
She refers to this in her voice lines.
Wait, she does? Wait, which one?
It's, okay. See, the voice lines don't have names anymore, so it's fucked.
I'm just gonna control F. They have names for me. I don't know what...
They don't have names for me. What the hell?
They say, like, Lobby Interactive Voice 6 or whatever.
What? I don't
just
have
one
those.
Demonstration. Well, just one demonstration, you can already erect the riichi bet stably. You're quite talented. What do you think? Standing riichi bets are pretty cool, right? Okay, but see, Ash, you're complaining about this, and you've pointed out a thing that, like, disproves your, like, she just does it because she thinks it's cool.
Yeah,
it's
like in her source material.
And you try and, like, like, a thing on the back of your hand or whatever, she's just doing that.
Listen, Ivy, you're not hearing me. Listen, it's fine that she just does it because it's cool. It's fine that it doesn't have a backstory. What I want is just for anyone at all, to validate the fact that this is weird. It's weirdo behavior, and yet she gets to Mahjong and she plays Mahjong for the first time in the show, and she just does this, and everyone is like, yep. And doesn't say anything about it.
This is fair.
That's what's fucked.
Ash, when I read the Toki manga, which I believe is both a prequel and a sequel to Side A.
First of all, fucked up.
Yeah, I actually don't know if whatever. I will.
Please keep me updated.
I bet this has a backstory. I will keep you. I will keep you abreast of the backstory of
it. Having a backstory is stupider, but I do appreciate it.
I'm sure someone will acknowledge it at some point in the manga.
If it has a backstory, that's stupid, but it is funny.
And
it does fulfill my need for it to be acknowledged at some point in the text.
Anyway, this emote is good, IMO. It's
so
like
diagonal.
It's like I'm declaring riichi in a stupid way.
Yeah.
I'm declaring a stupid riichi. This is my stupid riichi. I'm fully confident in it.
I think that Mahjong Soul is just allergic to having riichi be straight in any way.
Uh-huh.
Riichi sticks, because all of the riichi stick emotes have a common tag and you can see them all. Well, I guess
Uh-huh.
Nodaka's is straight, but that's because Nodaka is straight. Um, Sorry, that's so mean of me. Um, I don't even know if that's true. But, like, everybody else has it in some, like, diagonal, weird way. And so I think if they put it upright, it would just scare them.
Uh-huh. She's on a diagonal to make her look tall.
She's on a diagonal because she was on the brink of death in her second year.
Uh-huh. I think we have to move on from this one, or you're just gonna keep repeating, like, small lines over and over again. You've just been doing that the whole time.
Yep.
Been looking at this emote for like 5 minutes, and you just keep repeating the brink of death and the why does she does this. And I think we need to move on, or else we're gonna
On Joji
die.
Toki 4.
I would love
the
to
fifth
talk
emote.
about on Joji Toki 3 as a piece of art, but I can't because Ash is breaking.
I'm sorry?
It's okay.
On Joji Toki 4, the fifth emote, it's her close-up when she starts doing her chronic illness third eye mind powers, where she sees into the future by 3 turns, and then she collapses. And everyone is, like, chill about this.
And she takes a micro nap.
She takes a micro nap. She's a micro sleep.
Okay, first of all, extremely funny that this is tagged positivity, considering the thing that happens right after this is she dies.
We've established that positivity actually means violence.
Yeah. Or it means, like, sort of epicness, whatever. But it's still funny. It's still funny every time. This emote, I have never looked at it this close. It's scary. This is a scary emote.
She's got the lightning in her eyes.
The lightning in her eyes is scary because it makes her eyes also look like bloodshot. Mm-hmm. Or no, it's not the lightning. At least I don't think it's supposed to be the lightning. I think it's supposed to be like the cracks in the glass. You know when she does the second stage and above of her power, and the glass cracks. I think that's what's supposed to be happening, which is scary. Her eyes are cracking. It's frightening. It's a frightening emote.
Mm-hmm. It is. I do think it's really cool, and you have the potential to use it whenever you think you're about to do something really smart. And then afterwards, does she have an emote or she just passes out?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Listen, this would take up too many emote slots, but imagine if she had a 3-stage one. She had the 1 eye, and then the 2 eye, and then the 3 eye. And you can just escalate.
A girl with homophobia in her eyes.
Excuse me?
Sorry, that's not even the right format for that meme. It's heterophobia, like heterochromia.
Uh-huh.
A cat with heterophobia in its eyes. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
Don't worry about it. I like this emote.
Yeah, it conveys its thing very strongly.
It fulfills all of the things that I need it to fulfill, which is doing the thing that Toki does from Toki.
Yeah. And
being scary.
It's yeah. I like there's a lot of little sort of subtle touches to her expression. I like these little shadows at the edge of her brow, which just adds a bit of 3D-ness, but there's also a little bit of bag under her eyes to show strain.
I was gonna say,
I wish she looked a little bit more fucked up, but like this is scary. She looks like she's straining her little mouth with a little bit of downturn. Mm-hmm. They can't go too crazy with her hair on account of she just doesn't have that crazy hair, and also it's a tight close-up. You can see her hair like flying in the wind very effectively, even though you can't see very much of it. It's good. It's good. Effective. A very effective piece of art. I love how much it sticks out in the emote list because it's so green.
It's green.
Anything else? Moving on?
Moving on. On Joji Toki 5, the 6th
On Joji Toki 5, in this one, she's chronically ill.
I suppose it's true.
This is what it feels like. This is a relatable emote. I love this background.
Yeah, it's
She's got
really
like
good.
a gray, there's like a white circle, like quarter circle cutout in the bottom left corner where she is, and the rest of it is gray with these like lines of black. I don't know, these like stripes of black, I guess, going along the circle.
Striations.
She's like falling forward. She has a shadow over her face. They do the shadow on her face better than they do in Saki. Does not have Ash's known face Saki face shadow
Thank
qualm.
God. No special bang shadow.
Her mouth is like open a little bit as if she's sort of gasping for breath a little bit. Her eyes are just like dark black
No
to
light
gray
in them.
gradients. She's got slightly worried eyebrows. She's tired.
Yeah. This
She's
is
done-
how I have felt for the last 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Inexplicably.
Inexplicably. It's not like you moved or anything.
I've just been very tired for 3 days, and I can't figure out why.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like on Joji Toki 5, the 6th emote.
Yeah, on Joji Toki 5, the 6th emote is a very relatable emote. I feel like, as some people do who are big fans of this game, I feel like if I were to pick an emote to like make my Discord profile picture, it might be this one. I think that would be compelling. But I just like, yeah, there's not too much to her, it's fairly simple and straightforward, her like, posing and face. I like how this is like the only, aside from bird mouth, this is like one of the only ones where her mouth is open, and it like, it's very striking, I think. It makes her look, again, she looks out of breath. She's like buckling forward. But the background on this really makes it. Like, it's so, it's not like a whole thing, but it's so like, it's just good. I don't know how to words right now.
It's,
you know what I
speaking
mean.
of, this is such a non sequitur. Speaking of making things your Discord avatar, I was gonna change the avatar of the Soulmate social media, since it's a new year, and I've had Kaguya Hime Chainsaw as the avatar for the co-host and then the Tumblr since we started the podcast. But I can't figure out what to change it to. So I'll make a post about this, but you should send me Tumblr asks about what emote I should change the Soulmates Tumblr avatar to. Maybe this one. Who knows?
I mean,
We can be
do-
sad Toki forever.
Hello, welcome to Soulmates. It's a podcast where we're sad and tired and chronically ill.
On Joji Toki 6, the 7th emote, I understand what this emote is, which is that she's about to kill you. She's got the vein popping out in her, like, fist, and also the anger mark on her forehead, but her expression is just, like, doing nothing for me. She's got, like, the dark eyes with the pupils, and she's looking over, but, like, the eyebrows and the mouth do nothing for me. There's no colors in the background, and honestly, her cracking her knuckles is pretty subtle here, such that it looks more like, at a distance, she's, like, clutching her hands to her chest like she's worried, but also she's angry? This one doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, this one doesn't do it for me. On it, it's almost certainly my briefly scanning, but I'm pretty sure it's my least favorite of her emotes, like total overall.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like, fucking, like it's just like not fantastic. It's fine. Like all of this set of emotes are drawn fine. The art style of these is reasonable, but like it doesn't. Yeah, the facial expression is weird. Her, like, knuckle cracking is weird. I do like the anger mark above her head. It's nice and, like, there's a very kind of hand-drawn manga cartooniness to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not, like, perfectly aligned, and so it's very cute.
Yeah. But it's just, like, even with her weird... I feel like she has this weird, like, fish dead-eye thing. She doesn't have a little fish circle mouth, but, like, her eyes are weird. Even aside from that, I feel like the main problem with this emote is that this just isn't how Toki emotes that she's going to kill you. Like, okay, Ash, thing that you may have not noticed in the episode, I also didn't. I forgot about this until I reread it. But the thing that happens at the end of that arc is that Toki purposefully doesn't win.
Yes.
Because, like, if she had just let Teru kill fucking the main character, or whatever her name is, then she would have advanced because she was in second place. Akko, yeah. But instead, she was like, no, I'm gonna get you. But, like, the way that she doesn't... Just like Toki doesn't punch you in the face, you know? That's not what she does, nor is it even how she expresses. Like, she's vindictive, is my point. My point is that she's vindictive. Her team ends up losing because she wants to, like, get one minor petty thing over this on this one girl before she dies, and then this results in her team losing. But this is just not how she does it. Like, I don't know exactly what I would do to express that. But it's not this. It's not like physical violence. She's like a mental person, you know?
I mean, this is just the worst
doesn't
on
read.
Joji Toki 2, the third emote, in which she's an angry baby bird.
Uh-huh. But it's also a worse on Joji Toki 3, the fourth emote, which is a much more better, like, I'm going to kill you
with my actions
kind of Toki, with her cool erect riichi. And it just, like, it isn't anything. It, like, if I were to do, like, an I'm angry and I'm gonna kill you emote, I would have her, like, her making an angry face, or like a stern face, and then maybe have like one of her eyes lit up, being like, I'm trying to figure out how to kill you. She's not doing like the full, like, I'm going Super Saiyan mode. She's like, I'm just tapping in a little to fuck you up. I mean, actually, the next emote does this so much better. I don't know why this emote is here. Like, she has enough I'm going to kill you emotes. She doesn't need this, and it's out of character, and it doesn't look great. Blech.
I honestly, realistically, think that we wouldn't be complaining so much about this emote if it just, like, was more traditionally, like, I'm angry coded. Like, if she had the shadowed face and, like, a colored background, we'd be like, this one's fine, moving on. But, like,
yeah,
because it's, like, blank and she has a blank expression, it's like,
And I understand why she has the blank expression. It's because, you know, she's Yui Yagi, or rather Yui Yagi is her. But, like, it isn't...
It just doesn't work.
It doesn't read. I feel like she could use one happy emote, and this would be such a good slot for that.
Instead, her only happy emote is sixes.
I guess she has a happy bond up.
Riichi
but,
bet.
Yeah. Anyway, next one?
On Joji Toki 7, the 8th emote.
Is this mine? I've lost track.
It is yours.
This one says Ipatsu Sumo, which annoys me because everyone I've ever met in my entire life says Ipatsumo. However, it says Ipatsu Sumo, which I guess is fair if you're the translator. You don't want to...
You don't want to use unclear jargon, but still.
But in this one, she's like... She's doing a cool pose. She's lifting up a tile. And she's got her future vision lightning lighting her in like gamer RGB lighting. As she kills you with her
yeah, she's got the green rim lighting. She's got her like cape flowing out behind her, and her tie in front of her, and her hair is going, and her eyes are closed. She's got the whole thing going on. Can I tell you the thing that bothers me about this emote that's like fake, but it does bother me?
Is it the
why is the tile green? It's because the tiles that they use are either yellow or blue, depending on the set. not green, but they keep using green Mahjong tiles in a lot of emotes. Like, similar by tags, Takehisa8 also has this wall of green tiles, but those aren't real. They don't use those in Saki. Neither do they use them in Mahjong Soul, where the default tile back is also yellow. So, like, why? I mean, it matches, which is fine, but, like, this isn't a real gripe, but, like, come on.
They made the tile look kind of wonky, which I don't get why you would do that, but whatever.
It's also very big.
I was about to say I appreciate that it's big because it's an automatic table tile. Like it's
true.
a big. They in the competitive matches they play on the big automatic tables. Fun fact: the Saki Side A live action is the first time I've ever seen a riichi automatic table, as in an automatic table that has the tiny little riichi sized tiles. It's incredible. I immediately looked up how much it would cost to buy one, and it's out of my price range. But it's so small, and the tiles are so small, and they rack up as these just little guys. It's so nice. Anyway, I love it.
Did you finally get Saki Side A live action working? Or was that something else that you were...
Not the movie. The movie is the thing that's impossible
the live action
to
TV.
But
Got it.
we're working on it. Anyway, this is part of me and Harry's quest to consume all Saki. The Side A live action movie has been... Hey, do you know there's live action Saki? It's weird. It's really good, actually. Anyway, but, like, I appreciate that she's got the big... Generally, I think this emote looks great. Hang on.
It does look great. That was my fake gripe.
I love the cape really does it for me. The cape flying up really gives her this like it looks like a little cape, but it also kind of looks like a pauldron, like a sharp pauldron. It just gives her this like spike that is very compelling. That like matches with the like spike of her tie that is also flying up. I think they did her hair really nicely here. I think the way it's flying up, from the energy of her tile on her left, gives it a really good sense of volume. Like it looks very poofy, like, hair, how hair has volume. I like that her eyes are closed. Like, she doesn't have the green eyes here. She doesn't need it. She's just, like,
she's
fully
got her
focused.
lightning, and she's got her eyes closed. It evokes it well enough.
Yeah. And, I mean, she has her eyes closed because she doesn't need to look at the tile. Because she's already seen into the future.
She's already seen it in the future on account of in her second year. She was on the brink of death due to her illness.
It's, I'm gonna do the new thing when an emote has words on it, which is I'm going to go look at it in every other language.
I literally already did this. The words look better in every other language because they're vertical.
Oh, the Japanese!
It's much better.
Look at how nice that text looks in the Japanese. Like
I
this,
know.
like calligraphy font. Wow,
I honestly
that looks
really like
great.
the Chinese, which is like a little bit more goofy looking, but still has like a really nice.
No, I get what you mean. How does the Hangul look?
Similar to the Japanese.
Yeah, it looks fine.
But they all look better because they don't obscure as much of the art because they're on the side where this empty space is. It's very much designed for that, like, Chinese text.
Yeah. Now you can really... I mean, it does, like... let me look at the Chinese. It does cover... All of them cover up something, which I think is interesting. Like, on the East Asian languages, you can't see her cape, which I'm a little saddened by. But with the English, you can't see her tie. This is a difficult problem to solve, to be fair. These emotes are very small.
But I prefer being able to see her tie, generally speaking.
Yeah, and I think the composition works a little better with the text on the left, but I don't think the English text loses out that much.
Yeah.
Mostly I think it loses out just by being in this sort of generic emote font and not like I was gonna say, like,
I'm a little bit, sour on it just because I've seen this font so many times and it's always like, meh.
Yeah. It's a perfectly serviceable font, but like the sharpness of the calligraphy in the other ones is really nice.
On Joji Toki 8, the ninth emote?
On Joji Toki 8. And then she's died.
and then she dies, and she has to be taken away in an ambulance. But they didn't stop the match in the middle because no one was focusing on the fact that she was actively dying. And then she's dead forever for the rest of Saki. And so Toki is only a prequel. Anyway.
Well, Toki is also a sequel, but it's actually about Ryuka, and Ryuka being haunted by Toki's ghost.
And yes, like the ghosts.
Like in the Legend of Zelda Spirit tracks.
And she sort of has to warm up her thighs to evoke the ghost of Toki on Joji. Anyway, this emote is fantastic. It's important to have a passed out emote. I feel like it's important for any good character. Neither of my characters have a passed out emote, and this makes me very sad. I do love an emote where you're just dead on the floor. Her eyes are X's. She's face up, which is honestly kind of fucked. She's got the, sort of squiggle of doom. She's got her little there's just like, this is well executed. It's very sharp and angular and small. And then she's also got the little shadow on the floor, which I just think is very effective. And she's dead.
She's dead. She looks like a little paper cutout.
She is.
The sort of style of this is very it's very stylized. I was
it's
gonna say
very
it looks
angular.
very Psychonauts, and I don't know why I was gonna say that. But she's just kind of like a little weird, chubby little guy. I mean, she's a chibi, but there's something about the fatness of her hands and her torso and her legs that is very appealing. She's this is the emote where she's like a dead fish.
Yeah.
She's flopping. It's really good.
Girl, you're flopping.
Girl, you're flopping. She's
in my
dead.
flop era.
The way that it's angular is really nice. It's really I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna say the same thing over and over again, but I like it. It's very funny. Listen, we have to go to the character brief. We have to depict her as being chronically ill in various ways. And as complicated as I feel about Toki in general and their execution of that, I do kind of appreciate that we get a sort of silly emote of that in this one, and we get a more serious one in the sixth emote. It's if you like Toki, and one of your favorite things about Toki is that she dies if she plays too much Mahjong, then you have multiple ways of expressing that. And I think that that's relatively good design.
Dying serious and dying unserious.
Yeah, dying comical.
The two emotes from this set that you could take or leave are iPad and Fist, but the rest of them are very good, and I would not change them. And also, they're coming.
My new noise reduction cuts most sirens out, and so every time you say that now, no one can hear the sirens.
No.
And so it sounds like you're just saying they're coming.
I mean, they're coming.
Yeah, great set. Now here's a question. How... Thinking back to our first ever crossover character, and how we tried to learn things about her before watching the episode, and both failed and succeeded in some way. How do you think this emote set reads if you haven't seen Saki? Positively? Weirdly? I think it reads fairly well.
I think it works. She's clearly using her Saki power. They don't go too far into, how she uses her Saki power, which would be hard to do, so they really don't need to. She has an emote where she's using it, and an emote where she's, surrounded by green lightning. And an emote where she's playing Mahjong, and two emotes where she dies.
And they get her sort of serious she's not serious. She's cold and aloof. Her cold and aloof but dorky personality across. I actually think that her Mahjong power, like if you just showed someone this emote set and you were like, she has a Mahjong superpower, figure it out. I think that they would I think that they would just figure it out. Because it's like, she has a third eye made of green lightning. You know, opening your third eye is the thing that you do when you want to, like, perceive reality beyond reality. And then you can see the green lightning later when she gets a Patsumo. And so I think that someone could figure out pretty easily that, like, she opens her green lightning third eye and then she can... They might not... I don't know. I even think they might be like, oh, then she can see the future, because then she gets a Patsumo. But they might
I think that you just think that she gets a Patsumo and that's her power.
Maybe. But it depends on how familiar you are with the concept of Saki power, like, what level you're familiar with it. Because, like, a lot of early Saki powers are about, like, I get this specific Yaku.
Yeah, that's why I think you say she gets Ipatsumo. If you say she has a Saki power...
Right, but if you're just like, she has a Mahjong super... I don't know. Anyway, I think the point is, I think it's conveyed fairly well what her, you know, mechanical thing is, which I think is like a strong suit. It's hard. That's hard to do. Anyway, pretty good emote set.
Yeah.
Wow, we are ripping through this, huh? Well, Toki's dead, so...
Let's take a 5-minute break and see if we can, like, get her back.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go find the AED.
Oh, I was gonna say we can take a 5-minute break to mourn her, but that's a better idea.
No, I'm gonna get the AED. You call 911.
Alright. Bye.
Using my real-life CPR training.
Uh-huh.
You gotta instruct someone specifically.
Uh-huh.
この前ミキさんがあんまり熱心に勧めるんで膝枕をしてもらったんやけどびっくりしたわ龍華のには及ばんけどあの人の膝枕もなかなかのもんやった世界は広いわ
And yet both of these things are called lilies. Fascinating. Anyway. Do you want to know a, like, weird thing that happens in Saki multiple times? Is that, like, various teams, not all teams, but various teams, will have, like, a butch character who, wears, like, you know, boys' clothes, and specifically, like, wears those clothes often instead of their school uniform. And then that character's Mahjong match will start. And then all of the other people on their team will go, do you want to change into your school uniform? Or do you want to just keep your clothes you're wearing? And then the butch girl will usually go like, no, I'll change. It's fine. It's the thing I'm supposed to do. And then, this might be a specific thing that I'm projecting on multiple things, but I think it happens multiple times. And then her teammates will always be like, okay, but you don't have to. And she'll be like, no, I'm it's fine. And then she gets back and she changes back into her clothes. And I think this is interesting. I think this is kind of sweet. I know that it happens with Toki's butch girlfriend, but I think it's kind of sweet that every time this happens, no one's ever like, okay, you have to do this. All of her teammates...
Like, are you sure?
They're always like, sorry, you have to wear this skirt. And she's always like, it's fine. I think this is kind of sweet, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm resplendent. I'm resplendent with Saki facts, but also talking about Toki specifically makes me realize how much Saki I don't know because I haven't read Toki. Sorry, Toki.
Well, you can you'll know all of this once you make a bonding promise with Toki on Joji.
Hey, so really quick, to start off talking about this image, sort of like over under on whether in this image she's dead.
So here's the thing. The over-under is, I was about to comment on the fact that she only has one shoe on, which is, like, related. Because this is a thing that I see as a trope often, is, like, someone who is, as one might say, on the brink of death due to their illness in their second year, loses a shoe. And is like, you take your shoes off before you die, but it's you have one shoe on and one shoe off. Like, you have one foot in the grave. It's like a thing. And so, like, she's very pale. She only has one shoe on. And so I feel
also, like white dress, white and blue dress.
The stairway.
She's in this dilapidated courtyard.
She's about to go up the stairs.
She's about to slide up the stairs like a ghost.
It's so the over-under is she's almost dead, but she'll be fine.
Okay.
This is Ghost Toki, like from warming up your thighs to harness some of her power. But she'll be fine.
She slaps her thighs, you might remember.
Yes.
Anyway, Toki bond up. This, I have complicated feelings about this image.
There's also flowers laid at the foot of this staircase. Like, there's a lot of I'm dead imagery here.
Yeah, at the foot of Toki's staircase is blooms of Yuri.
Blooms of Yuri. Listen, in the living world is Ryuka, where the lilies are. The bottom of the stairs.
Don't go up the staircase, Toki.
Don't go up the stairs, Toki. You have to come back and lay on your girlfriend's lap.
Yeah, you need to go back to your girlfriend and your butch girlfriend and Funakyu.
Funakyu. And your second butch girlfriend who wasn't mentioned in the title. I'm so sorry.
He just doesn't say much in that episode. I think that, like, above the hip, I think she looks great. If you cut this image off at the hip, she's doing her stupid little hand sign.
Yeah, she's sign of the horns.
She's like got kind of this, like, she does look a little bit more dazed and pale in this one, but that's fine. She's like a little bit unfocused because she's Toki. I think this dress looks really cute on her.
Yeah,
like,
I really like this dress.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know why she's on this banister, but, like, it's fine. It's because it's the staircase of death, I suppose. I just,
the stairway to heaven.
You know, we have to get it out of the way. I just, like, really, this image just does not need this upskirt.
Yeah, I feel a little bit less negatively about it than you.
That's interesting, because I don't feel that negatively about it.
Okay.
I just, like, it does not need to be this upskirty.
It doesn't.
But also, I
like,
like this image.
Yeah, I like this dress. I like the layers of this dress. I like the underside of this dress, and I like it flowing out. This is also, like, you know, when I'm wearing a skirt, this is definitely a pose that I would take. You know, I would sit on a thing with my skirt. And so, like, I understand. You know, this is a little bit, like, less egregious in terms of, like, you know, bare-ass upskirts than some. And, like, you know, I think that this is pretty on the level with, like, honestly, what Saki Side A is, as far as I can tell. Which is, like, the camera angles are committed to being, like, a little off. But generally, it's like the content is not committed to being softcore porn. And so it's like they can only do so much. This is a little bit less true of this image as a still image because it doesn't have a plot that it's trying to get to. But I think it is pretty, like, you know, this is pretty in line with like an image that they would show. This would be a frame of Saki side A. Like I could see it.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are worse things.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. We don't have to talk about it forever. But like, you're right also that I do really like this image. There's something specifically about how, like, I think the colors in this image are really, really nice. Like, it's got this very... I love when an image has a nice contained color scheme. It has this nice contained color scheme of like almost like a gradient between this like this grass green to this sort of deeper indigo blue, and then you can see a bunch of things are between that. Like there's some like deeper greens, there's some teals,
there's the teal ribbon and like these lighter blue flowers.
Yeah. And then like a sort of like a fun factor of this, Toki herself really pops. Like just like the pink of her skin really pops out of this image because it's all these like super muted blues. And I think that's fun. I think that looks really nice.
I also just think the pure white pops out really well. Like the places that you see it mirrored are in the lilies and these other like light blue flowers off to the left. But really, those are like more natural tones, and like the staircase is like marble, but it's like off-white and a little bit mossy, and so like having this extremely pristine ghost dress up against it is very like, you know, especially again appreciating this like image as it is, you know, having the white and then the shock of blue that's like really visible in this sort of circular, almost flower-like pattern, where it like comes out from the inside is like, okay, there she is.
Yeah, I was about to say, also like her dress is a big flower. Her like the ruffles on this little chest piece are little flowers. I like how her hair is a little bit more ragged than it usually is.
Yeah.
Like she's just very... she fits in. Like, you're right, she is like pristine and white, but also she like fits into this environment. She's like blending into this weird like naturally taken over whatever the hell this is. Like the repetition, the rhythm, right, is what you call it?
Yes.
Of the shaping in this image is so nice. From like the flowers, and then to her dress, and then to the top of her dress, and then to her hair is really nice. I like this little I like this little dragonfly that she's hanging out with. I don't know why specifically. I also feel like this image would really pop on like a darker background, which is what you look at in front of, like by default in the client. I feel like a lot of our like white balance opinions of these images is skewed because this wiki is
because they're on a white background on mahjongsoul.club, a website without a dark theme. I'm not married to dark themes, but for the sake of podcast integrity, I would do it for this.
I like this dragonfly she's hanging out with. Again, it's like this sort of teal color that matches the ribbon, but not exactly. It's like its own teal. The fact that nothing is like exactly the same color as anything else makes it feel very natural in a nice way. I don't know. I feel like this dragonfly is like... it's like mimicking her little horn symbol she's doing in like a really subtle way. It's got like a similar overall shape, and it's close by, and it's cute. I think this image looks really nice.
I originally wasn't as hot on it, just because it's hard to do, I think, bond ups for crossover characters in a way that's satisfying. Like, there's some crossover characters you can do it very easily. Like, you have the magical girls, and they just turn into their magical girl outfit. And you have, like, the girls from Idolmaster Shiny Colors, which I haven't looked at them at all. And they get into their idol outfit. Like, there are guys who just have an outfit change. But, like, I feel like for the Saki characters, it's kind of hard because they just have their school uniform, really, and then like a casual outfit, and those are the things that they have. Like they aren't often wearing like a fancy dress, in this kind of way. So I wasn't so hot on this image originally because I looked at it and I was like, I don't get it. I don't get why this is the Toki Bond Up image. And, like, I like it more thinking about it being her dead. Sorry. It sounds bad, but you understand what I mean. It's a little bit more, like, thematic in that way. But honestly, it's like, it's just sort of hard to do, like, an interesting sort of thematic carry-through with these. And, like, just having them be a nice-looking image is kind of enough.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like it does reasonably, like, cross over from her main image. I mean, like, again, I do think that to some extent, I don't know how much they mean for her to look like a ghost in this image. But I think her kind of like being... I think her kind of being in this like natural space is like very intentional. It's really hard to explain what I'm thinking because it's very abstract. But like it's Toki. So much of what we see from Toki is so like tied to the Mahjong table. Like, she's always thinking about it and dying because of it and like blah 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 blah
and so forth.
And so to just like see her in a casual dress and like surrounded by flowers and in sort of like a slightly broken down place that isn't like, constructed for her. It feels really nice and satisfying in a weird way, Like she's chillin', and I like that. It's nice to see Toki chillin'.
Like, I definitely looked at this image and thought about all of the scenes in which she's walking through an abstract sort of, road.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is true of everyone to an extent, but it is what I thought of when I saw the dragonflies.
Well, they come from like a small town also, and so they are like they're like in the country. They're also always walking up steps. People in Saki love to be walking up and down steps.
Remember that scene in Haikyuu where the stairs IK was fucked?
That one scene in Haikyuu where they're really bad at walking up the stairs. Nobody will know what we're talking about. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because this is a thing that only we know.
Only we know about Haikyuu.
Listen, somebody will be like, oh, I know the scene in Haikyuu where they're really bad at walking upstairs. I've watched Haikyuu. And will be like, no, not that one.
Anyway, it's nice.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like this image. It has a tag that it's only on this image, and I don't know what it says. I'm gonna try and figure out what it says by going to Google Translate. Google Translate. Translate.google.co.
I'm just gonna right click. It's spiral staircase.
Oh. Well, I got there just after you did.
There's not... Oh, I just highlighted it and said, translate this section. There's not any other image in the game that's on a spiral staircase? I don't believe that.
No, there definitely are.
There's...
I think we covered one that was...
Yeah, almost certainly. Someday, Ash, we're gonna fix the tagging on this damn website.
Once we convince them to hand it over to us.
We don't...
Anyway.
Anyway.
Are these emotes in the right order? No, of course not. On Joji Toki 10, or 10, the first spawned up emote is her with the navy circle behind her, looking very tired again. Or sort of, I don't know if she's meant to look very tired in this image so much as she's just meant to look like kind of disappointed, potentially in you. But like, she just has like the little line under her eye that just makes me go, oh.
Oh. I feel like the intent, because she's like side-eyeing you, I feel like the intent is that she's tired of you. She's like, hey, can we just like, I'm tired, can you stop? Can we just get this over with? Like, sigh. Okay, I guess it's South 4 of the final Hanchan again.
This emote is fine.
This emote is fine, yeah. I like, even though it conveys a different emotion, I think that this is just a better version of the fists emote. Not to just rag on the fists emote forever, but it's like, again, she already has multiple I'm gonna kill you. This just kind of like, I'm just like tired annoyed is a good addition to the kit, I think. It's simple, it's straightforward, like, it's nothing special, but it works, it functions, it's Toki.
This just looks like a normal emote, but she's in her Bond-Up outfit, which is very funny to me. Like, they wasted a couple slots in the original on some emotes that I feel like do not need to be there. They couldn't have put this one in? They had to relegate it to Bond? Okay.
I think her outfit looks good here. Weirdly, I think the ruffles at her chest and her little hair things look better in this emote than they look in the main art.
I disagree with that, but I do think that they look good. The ribbons are a different shape, which bothers me.
Yeah, they are a different shape. I can't tell if they're supposed to be like, I guess they're like a different kind of ribbon. They're wrapping around and they're not tied in a bow like this. They're wrapping around in an X.
But also, the top one is a slightly different color, but I'm not sure if that's a lighting thing or if that's a, whatever. Either way, I think it's fine. I appreciate the fact that the Bond-Up doesn't have that much shit going on in it. This is the thing we didn't talk about that much. But, they really could have done like clean, a Mahjong Soul Bond-Up
pleasant image
for Toki, where they just put a bunch of shit on it and had her with a garter. But, like, they wrapped the thing around her leg, they put her in a dress and put 2 ribbons in her hair, in the same place in her hair, even. And called it a day. And it's like, that's the most simple, straightforward, like, pleasant decoration. I could wear this outfit and to understand exactly how it works because it is just a dress.
It's nice. Also, thing we didn't say about the main image, I like her shoes. I think they're nice shoes. That's all.
Yeah. On Joji Toki 1-1, the second Bond-Up emote.
Yeah, the one where she's dead.
Yeah, the one where she's dead? Why does she have eyelashes and blush in this one?
It's because she's an angel. It's because she's dead.
And angels have perfect makeup. We all know this to be true. Yeah, this is when she descends from heaven to, like, bring you down the red river of fate. So that you can learn how to look into the future. This is completely fucked. As an emote.
She has prayer hands. She's like, there's beams of light and stars coming down. It's very yellow.
I don't mind it, but it doesn't look like her. No, I don't mind that it doesn't look like her, but it doesn't look like her. The eyelashes are really throwing me off, is the thing. The eyelashes and the perfect makeup is like, Toki on Joji would not fucking do that.
Well,
it's very scary.
It is scary.
Perfectly acceptable emote. It conveys the thing which they were going for, I guess, which is that she's dead. But
she's a saint.
She's a saint. Tags, hope. There's multiple sort of heavenly angel emotes in this category, which I think is funny.
Be a bunny girl is in hope.
Be a bunny girl also in here.
What I think is, hang on, let me look. How do you feel about the next emote on Joji Toki 12?
1, 2, the third button up emote.
1, 2, the third bond up emote. Fuck me.
This one also doesn't look like her.
Uh-huh. I think it looks a little bit more like her than the last one. I think the eyelashes look the eyelashes and the blush look a little bit less makeup-y in this one for reasons I can't quite express.
No, I'm with you.
She's doing a smile. I feel like her hair looks better too.
Yeah.
But
I still think it doesn't look like her though.
Uh-huh. I feel like this smile, weirdly, maybe not weirdly, considering it's Toki, I feel like this smile is a little bit too big. It's either too big or too small.
And I guess the problem with both of these emotes, for me, honestly, it's just that there's a certain character, which is what Toki has going on. And, like, I don't know, this, like, pure and innocent thing is weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, Toki is, like, yeah, it's not that she's not allowed to be it's not that she's not allowed to be happy. It's not that she's not allowed to smile. It's not that she's, like, not allowed to be in front of, like, pink fluffy roses, which I think is cute. It's just that, like, I think the thing that it's missing out on is, like, in trying to make her happy, they're good at making her angry or even, like, sad and dying in a way that still conveys her sort of dorkiness. But I feel like that's what these lose. Like, the thing about Toki is that, like, she's a dork, she's a weirdo, she's, like, kind of a perv.
She loves her girlfriend's thighs very much.
She loves stuffing her face in her girlfriend's thighs, like, in public in front of all their friends. And
she can get away with it because she's chronically ill.
This is true. People, if you want to be able to get away with things,
you can't contradict me on this. This is true.
Chronically ill.
This is how she gets away with it. She's like, I'm so tired.
And it's just like, yeah, it's pushing her a little bit too much in the perfect angel direction. When, like, I feel like one thing that the show does, a decent job of with Toki is, like, having her be a disabled person who's not a perfect angel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's a vindictive, weird little dorky perv, like 17-year-old. And, you know, she's not a perfect angel. We didn't watch more of that Saki side A, that's Ryuka's match. But I believe Toki's ghost, for most of that, just kind of stands there and makes fun of her. She like makes fun of her and hits on her.
That's really funny.
Instead of, like, being helpful most of the time. At one point,
good for her.
Ryoka's like, Toki ghost, what should I do? And she's like, I don't know. And then she pieces out. She just leaves. And that's Toki. And this is not getting across the part of ghost Toki that is important.
I'm gonna DM Ivy something. This is useless for the podcast, but I need to express this thought before I lose it.
This is really funny because, like, I feel like this whole episode you've been, like, non sequitur city, which is fine. You've just really been kind of, like, off on little tangents, like, literally every image we look at.
I'm pivoting from aggressive to like, nonsense.
I don't mind it. I'm not complaining.
There we go.
Ash. DM that would make no sense to literally anyone else in the world.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ash.
You're welcome.
Anyway, that's Toki Bond Up.
Yeah, that's Toki Bond Up.
Like, see, the thing is that, like, the two, like, angelic, perfect little girl emotes are not super Toki. I probably would use them if I had this Bond Up. Like,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
reasonable.
They convey reasonable things.
Sometimes you just want to be cute.
Sometimes you just want to be cute. I think Toki gets to be cute. I just think
in sort of an out of character way, as if to demonstrate that you're being less than earnest. Do we want to talk about the one that I don't like?
You mean the one that everyone doesn't like? So do you want to know what's fucked? You want to know what's fucked, Ash?
What's fucked?
So we've been avoiding this. However, please go back to characters and just go to any first crossover Saki character. Let's pick the same one. Which one do you want?
I'm just on Saki.
All right, just on Saki.
Yes. Okay. So this is the outfit series that they all got a new outfit from.
Yes. And what's fucked up is that the outfit series that the Saki characters had in the first crossover was like mostly fine. It's this just kind of like wearing a nice flower themed dress thing.
Exicled Blossom.
Exicled Blossom is my favorite Arknights operator.
Yeah, what's okay.
But and then when they did the second crossover, they made it worse. They did Bunny Ears Party. And this is just sort of strange to me on a conceptual level. Not that Mahjong Soul gets better as a game in terms of art direction, in terms of being weird. Although it changes slowly as we constantly observe. But the fact that they did a perfectly whatever thing and then they decided to do the worst thing possible in the second round of this crossover is so bizarre to me.
It's also so Saki, but I say this one in a negative way.
Yeah.
It's like how the fourth episode of Saki is the one where they all get in maid outfits. It's fucked. And the other thing is, I was looking at all of the first crossover Bunny Ears Party outfits, and none of them were even half as egregious as this.
Yeah.
Which just makes me mad.
I do think that, the Toki one is kind of uniquely bad also. I mean, the Mihoko one is quite bad, but there is a joke to it. The joke is that Mihoko is very bad with technology. That's why she's wrapped up in the wire.
I've seen that one.
But the Toki one is really, I don't know. Maybe this is just because I like bad. Toki, but it's very bad.
No, it's very bad. So, okay, we won't spend, infinite time on this, but the thing about this one that makes it, I feel, very bad, in a way that, even the other outfits don't approach, is, it's just an ass shot. She's got fully so much ass. And then she's got a very slim and small and childlike figure. She's just very small and in barely any clothing. I appreciate that her quote is, "I want to see Ryuka in this outfit." Very funny.
I can't believe how much that brings it back for me. To be clear,
this image, bad. That quote, yeah.
To be clear, when I say it brings it back to me, I'm not oh, it's good. I'm well, at least we get something good out of this.
Yes.
Which is
it's not a complete loss.
That's the most Toki any of this Toki content has been. Is just I'm a perv for my cute girlfriend.
Yeah.
And no one can be mad at me because I'm chronically ill.
Toki is so... The Toki Ryuka Yuri is so real.
It's so real. It's also just to just talk about that instead of this. It's you weren't wrong at the end of the bonus episode of this, that the Toki powering her with her thighs thing is a bit much. But again, it's fucking weird thing that I like about Saki, which is like teenage girls being weird about being teenage girls, is so in that relationship where like
Yeah.
Toki is just like, you know, she's just like a 17-year-old, and she's like, my girlfriend's thighs are very comfy, and I'm very tired, so I want to stuff my face there all the time. And Ryoka's like, okay, babe, whatever you need. And just like being a little perv for your teenage girlfriend is like such a weird and relatable thing.
Yeah.
That is, I find genuinely very charming.
It's like, and I can get behind it more
cover.
than like some of your other, you know, teenage girls being weird about each other's bodies, and I appreciate it. I can get behind this one more because it's like two girls in a lesbian relationship with each other.
Yeah, it
Fully,
also
like,
yeah, it also it feels like a thing that exists almost like more for their benefit than for the viewer's benefit. Yeah. It's like, I mean, when Toki's lying on her thighs, you can see less of her thighs. It's yeah. So that quote, amazing.
The other thing which I like about this outfit is the fact that all the alcohol is labeled grape juice and orange juice.
See, here's a thing that's weirdly, that's a thing that I don't like about this outfit. I think that makes it worse and weirder.
It is. I understand how.
The fact that like this is a bar for children is bad.
Yeah.
The fact that the grape juice and orange juice labeled liquor bottles point out that she's a child is bad.
It is. I do think it's a cute detail, but I understand
a cute detail. I mean, you know, maybe it just says grape juice and orange juice because she's serving rabbits. This little rabbit. The fucked up thing about the other fucked up thing about this image is that the environmental art in this image goes hard. How do you feel about these horns, really quick?
Ooh. Sorry. I thought you were going to say something, and I was just admiring the antlers.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm asking about.
Yeah, the image has a deer in it. Famously, I'm a deer. Famously, I love drawing antlers, and I think that they're the best. These are really good antlers. They have good shape. Sometimes you draw antlers, and all of the spines of them are, like, able to be viewed horizontally from a specific angle and don't look like they have any existence in 3D space, which these are not, and I appreciate them. They're also not completely symmetrical, which is nice. And like they get lighter towards the tips, which is very accurate. I don't know why this deer looks like a white cow, but like it's okay.
It's a little cow shaped, huh?
Honestly, I can take or leave most of the environmental art in this. Like, I think it's good, but I don't think it adds that much to this image. I think this like, you know, like, this figure, despite my disdain for it, could be placed somewhere else. The environment is sort of an afterthought to it, and so I'm like, meh.
I mean, I think that this is a little bit my, like, I'm the daughter of a woodworker thing, where I'm like, man, daughter of a woodworker who's, like, made furniture. It's like, man, if I could get a hold of this natural cut, like, piece of wood and turn it into this little counter, I'd be like, that would be such a fucking statement piece. It's, like, just a really nice piece of furniture. That I cannot help but look at and be like, oh, this little jut down at the side, like, oh, that would be so cool. People would constantly be complimenting your bar counter if you had this. But like, I don't know. She also, yeah. We don't have to talk about it forever. They just didn't have to do this.
No,
you know?
Like, not even a little bit. And
not even a little bit. It
sucks really bad that they did it.
Uh-huh.
There's not even anything interesting to talk about the outfit that isn't just that it's bad.
No.
The art isn't good enough to justify discussing it further.
Yeah.
The emote is, fine.
I mean, I do think the emote's very funny in a meta sense. It's like, why did you put me in this?
Why did you do this?
Why did you do this?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, hey, what happening?
Toki is also confused by this sequence of events.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, sorry. I passed out on the floor and then I woke up wearing this outfit. What's going on? Am I dead? Am I dreaming? The bunny girl tag is only images from these crossover things, which is fucked because there's so many other bunny girls.
There are a lot, like, be a bunny girl.
But it's also like, do you put every single Kaguya Hime and Kavi in the bunny girl tag? I don't know.
Be a bunny
Things
girl.
to think about. Be a bunny girl. Don't be a bunny girl.
I like that all of the other bunny girl emotes are like something related to like the image. And this one is just, hey, why am I a bunny girl?
Hey, what's going on? Why did you do this? Oh yeah, all
why
of them are
bunny
like
girl?
I guess Saki is also kind of like
Why
Saki's
bunny
like,
girl?
why am I a bunny girl?
But like Hisa is just falling over.
Why is she a bunny girl?
Why is she a bunny girl? Why am I a bunny girl?
I think that she should not be in this outfit anymore. And
Me
then
too.
She should put Ryoka in this outfit in the privacy of their own room.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, I was just looking at the related question mark emotes, and I noticed the Hana Ninomiya emote, where she's like a little gnome from the new Winter Dreams outfit. All the emotes lately have been really weird, and every time I notice one of them, I like get distracted for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
She's just a little gnome.
What about this, like, Ayako emote? I mean, it's kind of sick. It's just, like, it doesn't look like anything else in the entire game.
Yeah. Good for them.
Weird.
Anyway,
that's Toki.
Yay! Toki from Toki.
Toki from Toki. I liked most of these images.
Yes, this was far more good than bad. It's just that Bunny Ears Party is a crime.
Yeah. Well.
Number.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot that my bit for the beginning of this episode, before I said that I was in the house like carpet and got distracted by that, was that I was going to say, hi, I'm Ash, and we're not rolling a character at the end of this episode, which I will remember.
I also was sure that I was going to remember, but as you said that right now, I was like, wow, I totally would have forgotten. I thought, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Cute. What's Toki's cute? Well, she's chronically ill.
Well, her being chronically ill is related to her appealing.
Fascinating.
Do you disagree?
Well, it kind of depends on what kind of person you are.
My argument for why her being chronically ill is related to her appealing is because her archetype is like perfect little... I mean, she's not a perfect little angel, but like her archetype is like, you know, dying girl that everyone loves.
Yeah. I don't think she's that cute. I think
she's like, what did we give KR976 on cute? Because it's just gonna be the same thing.
I'm not answering that because we're not actually going to do that. We're actually going to talk about it and figure it out.
Okay, well, my pinned messages in your DMs aren't loading, so I can't find out.
I hacked Ash's computer so that Ash could not find out.
Shit.
But oh my god, there's a Toki bedspread where she doesn't look like Toki. This is in products. Look at this.
There's a lot of Toki art where she doesn't look like Toki. It's from the manga. Anyway. I mean, that one I'm sure is some sort of promotional art that's weird. I also like that it has 2 Toki pillows. Anyway, her cute, she's
I think it's pretty, I think it's as much as we can give, I think it's relatively low. Well,
She's somewhere between a 2 and a 3 for me, personally.
I
And I think you want to go lower.
I don't know if I would go lower than a 2, but I might pitch me on why she would be equally cute and not cute.
Well, she does have inherent cute, I feel, as, like... I mean, this is honestly Saki character cute. She has Saki art style cute. It's just that she's, like, you know, drawn in this way that is in Saki, where everyone is cute. This isn't related to her character as much as it is a feature. But I still think it's fair to consider she has some automatic cute on account of being a cute girl.
Yeah. She's also, like, sort of small and animal-y in a way.
Yeah.
Which is cute. But, like, also, she's, like... She does work relatively hard to push back on being cute.
Mm-hmm.
She is very, like, you know... you don't have to take care of me, you know? Mm-hmm. Like... You don't have to worry about me. I'm gonna be like a super cool savior of the fucking of the team with my stupid shit, and like don't actually
with my powers that I developed after my illness brought me to the brink of death in my second year.
She is she's sort of small and cute and animalistic, but she's also very, like, you know, don't patronize me in a sense.
Mm-hmm. My other argument for 3 cute would be that I think her dorky little gestures are cute but unappealing. I think dorky is cute but unappealing.
No, I'm a fan of 3. I'm a fan of 3. I think she's a solid 3.
3 cute. Appeal.
3 cute. Appeal.
Also, I feel like this one is lower.
Yeah.
But she does have that disabled girl appeal.
She is sort of actively hard to get along with. She has a cool and aloof aura, you know?
She does. After she was brought to the brink of death in her second year of high school due to her illness.
Like... And also she's just, like, a little weirdo. She's like a little weirdo perv. She's, like, weird towards people. She, like, you know, she has that disabled girl cute, but also she's always passing out.
Mm-hmm. She is always passing out and looking like she's dying.
I, like, don't think that she would do well at a party.
No.
In part because she just, like, would be super weird, and also in part because you would just be constantly monitoring her to make sure she wasn't about to fall over.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, everyone loves her. And I understand her magnetism, because her being so weird is also what makes her great. It's like, she's just kind of like a funny little kind of like very internal world kind of motivated little weirdo. And that's appealing to its own extent. There are guys who suck to be around and don't have that appeal, you know? But she does, and that's notable.
I feel like it's more... I was gonna say she could be a 3 also, but I feel like it's more authentic to give her a 2. Authentic here meaning just, like, respectful of the fact that she's a freak.
Yeah. I like 2. I kind of like her having low, cute, and appealing numbers. I feel like her not being very cute and appealing is what makes her compelling, you know? As, like, a character and a teenage girl. Like, I think that's part of what's good about the Toki arc, is that, like...
Yeah.
Teru is very appealing, and that she's cool and dangerous.
God, she's not appealing.
And then...
She's a tornado arm, and it sucks.
But you get my general archetype concept. And, like, Subara and, like, Ako are very cute. but like Toki is neither of those things, and that's what makes her a good protagonist of that arc, is that she's sort of weird and socially disconnected. So I like 3 cute, 2 appealing.
I do think
Okay.
I clicked on this a little bit, thinking about this, just because I realized that watching the Toki arc, I don't think I was really thinking about Toki as a teenage girl. She's just sort of a character
Yeah, she's
who
not
happens
a
to be
cute...
playing teenage girl mahjong.
Yeah, she's not a cute teenage girl. She's a dorky, weird little teenage girl. But yeah, she doesn't. She. I think part of the reason why she sticks out in Saki is that she lacks that teenage girl cuteness that so many other characters have. That they like force upon everyone. Anyway, the thing that I thought you were gonna say when you were like, I don't remember what it was, but you were like, oh, something I was gonna say earlier in this episode is blah. I thought you were gonna say the reason that she's doing 6 with her hands is because of her Kinsey scale.
The thing I was going to bring up early in the episode was KR976. The 6s are her Kinsey scale number. She's a lesbian.
Here's the thing, okay? Saki is a world, except for some parts of the anime, except for the worst parts of the anime. Saki is a world where men don't exist. That being said, similar to grading characters in, like, you know, rhythm games that are like this, I think there are characters in Saki who might even be straight.
I think it's easy to argue that there are characters in Saki who are straight, but I don't have as much Saki experience as you do, so I just feel like some of those characters must be straight.
Yeah, like Saki is Yuri, but like the concept of being straight still sort of exists in the DNA of characters.
It necessarily exists. I feel it. Being straight necessarily exists in Saki because it's Yuri for straight people.
But Toki ain't it.
Toki ain't it.
Toki ain't it. Toki is like a player.
Yeah.
You know?
My butch girlfriend in Funakyu.
She has like an enviable magnetism for the same sex. She just like she loves women and women love her. And the concept of Toki interacting with a boy who is not like her father is incomprehensible.
Yeah. She's a classic, like, I'm thinking about whether or not I would call her Futch, which I hate as a word also. She's like, I feel like this fits her.
I do have a pitch on, I don't know why I thought of this, but I do have a pitch on, like, if we can go to end the episode, because we're not rolling a new character, if we can go to a beautiful, hypothetical world.
Okay, I'm going.
I want you to, like, imagine Bunny Ears Party. You can just, like, block off her body with your hand. Put your thumb over this teenage girl.
I have my eyes closed, so I can't do that.
Imagine Bunny Ears Party. And she's like at this bar and she's serving this bunny. She can even still have the bunny ears. But imagine that, but she's in like a little tuxedo. And it's like, bam, that's Toki. They would never do this. Mahjong Soul will never put a woman in a suit, which is so sad.
She could even be in a nice evening dress, and I feel it would suit her.
But imagine, like, Bond Up Toki in the, like, pretty floral dress. Bunny Ears Party Toki in, like, a nice suit. And I'm like, this is ideal Toki to me.
Yeah. She's Toki. 3, 2, 6.
3, 2, 6. Yeah.
Are my pinned messages with you loading now? Yes.
I feel like we've done 3, 2, 6 is the thing, so I was going to check. Just looking for 3 cutes. No,
we haven't. We haven't done a 3, 2, 6.
New number. It's like scorigami.
There's a lot of scorigami left to go on Soulmates.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we have a repeat score.
I don't think yet, no. I think we had a repeat. We've had a repeat score in some of the extra stuff, but nothing.
Which I famously don't count.
Uh-huh. Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's her girlfriend over on the femme side of the spectrum, her butch girlfriend over on the butch side of the spectrum, and then she's right in the middle.
Yeah. And Funakyu is Funakyu.
And that's Funakyu.
And that's Funakyu. And the second butch, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What's her name? What's her
I
name?
don't even know.
It's like, it starts
Her name
with...
is Second Butch.
starts with a T.
She's a Pokemon trainer. She has no sleeves. She's Second Butch.
Izumi, I'm sorry.
Izumi! That's right! Suddenly it's all come rushing back how much I love you, Second Butch.
I'm sorry, Izumi.
I'm sorry for scorning you.
I have no idea how we end this episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
さっき見た通り、トップの未来を手にしたわ。